online to do research is a good idea, and whenever you make a major purchase, and a funeral certainly falls into that category. Yet in today's Straight Talk with the Funeral Director, we discover that not all online resources are equal or even unbiased. Joining me today is Funeral Director Beth Buxton. She is with Edwards Funeral Services. Beth, nice to have you back here.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
It's an interesting point that you bring up. It's almost like a buyer beware, and you don't think of it, but that there are people that can take advantage of you at your most vulnerable time.
That is true. That's what we want to educate folks about, is the fact that if you're going to research about funeral services and funeral pricing, if you're going to do that online, you really need to be careful which websites you visit and who you take advice from.
Where's a good place to start then?
Well, we do have a neutral website in town here. I'm sure other cities have them as well. Ours is called ColumbusFuneralCosts.com. If someone wanted to go to one website and obtain all the general price lists from all the funeral providers in the city, that's where they should go. They can look at service offerings, package pricing, really simplify the process of comparing funeral homes.
Can you give me an example of what kind of things are compared?
Sure. On that website, you can compare things such as direct cremation packages, full service funeral burial packages. You could even go on there and look at the starting price of caskets and vaults, because the general price list by the FTC regulations, all funeral homes are required to put that information on those price lists. So it'd be a very simple process for families to go there and obtain information on a neutral ground.
And what is that website once again? The one that is offering good advice?
It's ColumbusFuneralCosts.com.
Good information to know, because as you mentioned earlier, there are some not so neutral or unbiased, or say they may offer you free information and what, you end up getting charged?
You do. It's unfortunate. These funeral information and advisory online services, people go there thinking they're going to log in, get some neutral advice, leave there with a lot of different choices. Unfortunately, what a lot of these funeral information and advisory services do is contact the local funeral homes in the area and sell them advertising space, if you will, to be preferred providers. So when you go there, you're really getting only the names of those funeral homes that have paid to be on the site. I've also been contacted by other online services that actually charge the consumer. They go on there to obtain information they could get for free from funeral homes, and they pay a fee for that. You can contact any funeral home and request a general price list, and by law, funeral homes are required to give you that information. And I go on those information advisory sites, and a lot of them have the only information on there is what you see on the Google ad site. So
it's nothing different.
Nothing different.
Well, I was going to say, what are some red flags that people should look for if they go on a site to know if in the end they're going to be charged, or if they're really getting the true story?
Really, when they go on those sites, if they go on there and the information's free and they see, let's say, pictures of a funeral home, and all they get is this street map, all that funeral home or funeral information advisory service has done is go on Google and put a picture on there of what they've gotten off Google. They're not giving you true service offering information or specific information. You can tell from that they don't know the geography of the city, or they don't know the providers in the city. It's just very general. And many times they only have 4 or 5 choices when you know there's 26 funeral homes in town. And if they only have 4 or 5, you know probably someone's paid to be on there. If you go to a website and they have a fee, don't pay that fee. Please do not. Go to Google, do a little research, call the funeral homes that you're interested in, and get the information at no charge.
And that was my next question. If someone isn't very savvy on the internet either, and they just want general information, you said by law funeral homes, no matter what, have to provide some of that information for folks at no cost.
That is true. They provide the information at no cost. If you stop into a funeral home, they're required by law to give you their physical general price list. If you request that online or by mail, they're not required to do so, but I'd be very leery. If a funeral home is not willing to mail you a general price list, that's really not good practices.
And that's what you do at Edwards Funeral Services. You're always there to help folks. I mean, that's one of the first calls they can make is to you to get some answers.
They can if they'd like. We do give neutral advice. Of course, we love it when people use our funeral service if they have a need. But I've had families call me and they opt not to use us, but we're certainly there as a resource to give them good information.
Beth, that's some good information for all of our viewers. Thank you. Nice to have you here.
Thank you so much.